In a 6-page witness statement submitted to the court, Prince Harry said MG and journalists pursued the couple wherever they went, which placed a huge amount of unnecessary strain and stress on their relationship. The statement says, ultimately, MGN's activities led Miss Chelsy to make the decision that a royal life was not for her, which was incredibly upsetting for the Duke of Sussex at the time. It does seem Harry spends a great deal of time on Chelsy and looking at what could have been. I do think Meghan is entirely responsible for hyping him up on their popularity, how much it would be worth, and how he could have something of his own that's finally better than his brother's. I don't think he's so ignorant or lacks awareness that he's unaware it's not anything in the realm of what she sold him on. Further, I'm sure he blames her for their financial situation and her inability to go along in private, since he can't possibly ever be at fault. He even requested Chelsy have some part of the book or Netflix docu, can't remember which, and she politely declined like the classy private woman she is. I think he thinks about what could have been every day. Dating Harry has to be, without a doubt, the single biggest regret in her life. He's such a mess now, I'm sure it's embarrassing just having her name brought up with his like this all the time. Meghan thought she bagged a big one, now he's just an embarrassment. And her being married to them as a duo, is a complete mockery of them. She must be spinning. She wanted the prize and to show off to everyone. Instead, she and her dimwit husband are just laughingstocks. Couldn't have happened to a kinder person. However, who can understand what Meghan thinks of Harry? Not sure if she saw Harry as the prize himself, though. Don't think she had any delusion about Harry being a wonderful prince of the people. I think she is most angry with the doors he should have opened for her, by virtue of title and money, now being shut in her face. I don't think she cares or is surprised by his clowning and jesterdom, and appreciates his weak will and his inability to sense his own hypocrisy, even when he professes to do so publicly. It's the backlash and damning reaction of the people, media, in response to what she had hoped could create a mixed furor but ultimately gain her further support, that truly kills her. Otherwise, she's all for Harry's antics and stupid dramatic lies, provided they fuel her own community standing and world status and money-making schemes. Of course, she gets frustrated when he turns up slovenly and rolling drunk, but only because she's trying to make him appear hot playboy prince for her own devices, so that the people will accept them as the alternative to Catherine and William, and ultimately crown Meghan above all. Likely, she's been contemptuous of Harry and never found him attractive from the very beginning. She secretly hates the idea that he is privileged by birth, and that she has to scheme and snake her way into something that he was naturally awarded out of sheer luck of being born in the right time, right place to the right people. Thankfully for Meghan, it appears that Meghan never has had to be attracted to people first, in order to sleep with them, pretend a love story. Just using common sense and knowing human behavior, how could he really not? I think Meghan has beaten him to it, and is over it he can't bring the connections for global adoration and wealth she needs to keep that public persona. They were equally ill-suited to one another. I do believe there are some people who end up with a partner that has the ability to turn them into either their best or worst version of who they can be as humans. I don't think Harry is easy to be married to, not even in the rosiest pair of glasses. He's likely a miserable dick on his best day. Meghan's a raging bull in a china shop, who enacts revenge by passive-aggressive means, and then punishes by withholding affection, respect, affirmation, and dignity. You quickly move from the center of her earth to the germ on her azure. Harry married Meghan so quickly because she was the only one he could catch. I used to root for Harry and Chelsy. I thought she was his endgame. I think Harry was getting older and wanted kids, so he married the first woman who showed interest. Of course, Meghan saw money and fame, and that's why she pounced. They're truly soulmates. Harry was getting older and wanted what he thought marriage and a family would bring him, based on Will's life. He thought it led to a dukedom, a much larger house, more money, etc. He got the dukedom. The house he got wasn't as big and grand as he wanted. Not really more money, and what extra there was going to Meghan's clothing allowance. Plus there was talk of Charles saying he couldn't or wouldn't afford them, so things were likely to be eventually scaled back, especially when Charles lost the Duchy of Cornwall for the smaller Duchy of Lancaster. I don't think he really wanted a wife and kids for the reasons most people do want them to. They, to him, were a way to get more stuff, get more attention, and a way to compete with his brother. We all know Markle was his rebellion. I've always maintained Harry's the only racist one in that family. His immature, childlike playboy mindset was all about pissing his family off by marrying his trick. It started out as a threat, and he had to follow through. The royal family didn't give a stuff about ethnicity. Harry chose a chick who, conveniently for him as a racist who prefers blondes, presented as white, but could beat his family around the head legitimately, in his mind, with racism because he knew how easy that would be. The Sugars and the race baiters are dining out on this bullshit to this day, all for one ginger prick's unchecked temper tantrum. An expert predicts the future. Not long, I imagine. Harry has a lot of baggage. I think Chelsy would have been good for Harry, not that it was her job to fix him, but she seems to be the type to be content to be in the background. I think she would have helped to encourage Harry to stay in therapy. They'd likely be working royals. There would be no spare book, and most of the globe would never hear of Meghan. Maybe one day, many years from now, Chelsy will be Harry's Camilla. Although I'm sure she's happily married and completely over Harry, and I don't wish Harry on anyone, unless he can turn his life around. But he doesn't appear to want to turn his life around. Not that he can without the help of a therapist. Only Harry can improve his situation. But you can look at him and see he isn't happy with Meghan, although Harry is no prize himself. What do you think about Harry blaming the media for the breakdown of his romance with Chelsy? Let us know your thoughts below in the comment section. We hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this newsletter. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.